The telescope's on the top of the Mauna Kea volcano. This is the view just 2/3 of the way up, already higher than any Australian mountain. So my minder and I rest to acclimatise to the thin air. Then it's a drive up to the really rarefied heights at the top, where the Keck telescopes are. But first, let's go to San Francisco to see why we're visiting the Kecks. Across the bay, at the University of California, Berkeley, is astronomer Jeff Marcy.
The greatest human question we know of is whether there is life elsewhere in our universe.
Jeff has been interested in elsewhere in the universe for decades. He's discovered more planets orbiting other suns than any other person. Indeed, he started looking for these exoplanets back when people said it just couldn't be done.
And at that time, everybody thought I was crazy. That I thought, you know, I'm going to take all of my astronomy chips and place a bet on finding exoplanets.
It took 8 lonely years of scouring the skies, but on December 30, 1995, the cosmic bookies paid out on Jeff's bet.
It was spine-tingling. I can remember the hairs standing up on the back of my neck, and I looked at the computer screen and I thought, that's the signal I've been looking for all these years. It was marvelous.
Today, almost 1,000 exoplanets have been confirmed, astonishing astronomers by just how weird they can be.
Some of the planets orbit their stars in elongated orbits, not nice circles like we have in our solar system. Some solar systems have their Jupiters orbiting so close to the host star that the Jupiters are blowtorched to thousands of degrees.
But the biggest surprise was just how many planets are out there.
But essentially every star is now known to have planets. We know that. Most of the stars have planets. That means the number of planets just in our galaxy is on the order of 1 million, a trillion. That's a big number.
And a big number of potential home planets for ET.
There's so much real estate out there that's suitable for life that, they've got to be out there. If this is the only place in the cosmos where biology has begun, if this is the only place where anything interesting is happening, then this is a miracle. And I can tell you, after 500 years of being disillusioned about miracles, most astronomers are very leery of believing in miracles. So the non-miracle explanation is there's plenty of life out there.
The question is, are there any advanced civilizations? To find out, Jeff's going out on a limb again.
We search for laser beams from advanced civilizations, and I'm embarrassed to talk about it, by using some of the world's largest telescopes, like the Keck telescopes in Hawaii.
Which brings us back here. This is the top of Mauna Kea. There are a lot of telescopes here because the clear skies make the viewing so good. The scenery's stunning, but the feeling of going from sea level to these heights is not so good. Okay, we're at the top, 14,000 feet. That's more than 4 kilometres up. I must say, I feel very woozy. It's like I've had a couple of wines. So your oxygen levels here have to be constantly monitored.
Yes, you're running 88% of oxygen in your blood, and your heart rate is at 68. Very good.
So 88%'s enough, is it?
Yeah, that'll work just fine.
Inside is the impressive instrument. Now that is some telescope. I've seen quite a few in my time. Never seen anything like that. That mirror is 10 metres from side to side. Incredible. The mirror could only be made this big by building it from 36 hexagonal segments. They must all act as one to form a near-perfect mirror. Jeff will use this telescope tonight, multitasking, looking for exoplanets and laser beams sent by alien astronomers. Why would they beam lasers into the galaxy? Because our astronomers routinely do.
They illuminate, the upper atmosphere, trying to correct the distortions that the atmosphere introduces.
Information from the laser allows the distortion in the image caused by air turbulence to be removed. And here's the thing, telescopes, and therefore their lasers, are always pointed at the star system being observed. If that system happened to be ours, Jeff thinks we should be able to detect laser light beamed directly at us.
Point the Keck telescope at nearby stars, and we look for light coming at just one color, because lasers emit their light at just one color. And if we see a light beam at just one wavelength of light, we know we've got a laser, and that would have to be an artificial machine that made that light. And voila, we have a good sign of intelligent life.
ECD readout complete.
Tonight's observations have begun. Remarkably, Jeff can run the Kecks from his Berkeley office. And it seems anyone can do it.
ECD readout complete.
Can I do one?
Start the next exposure.
So I click on expose over here.
That's right, left button.
That's it.
Excellent.
I've just pushed the go button on one of the biggest telescopes in the world.
And the photons are streaming in.
Yeah, this is fun.
It's astronomy research. It doesn't get better than this.
When the exposure's finished, a spectrum's produced.
Well, this is the spectrum of a star, just as we observe it at the Keck Observatory. And what you're seeing are all the colors of the rainbow, blue, green, yellow, and red.
Now, this spectrum is normal. Among those colours, the black lines are missing frequencies because that particular coloured light has been absorbed by the atoms in the star.
For example, these two absorption features in the spectrum are caused by sodium atoms in the star's atmosphere. This is
The telltale sign of a signal from ET is not missing light, but additional frequencies of laser light.
ECD readout complete.
Now, it's early days, and none have been found yet. But if they are, the discovery would be momentous.
The really important change will be the philosophical change, because you will know from that day forward, forever, that we're not the only kid on the block. We're just another duck in the row.
Could we ever chat with the other kids on our galactic block? Well, sadly, maybe not. If they're able to contact us, they'll be way more advanced than us. We won't understand their communications.
And it's sort of like, you know, giving books to Neanderthals. I mean, they're probably not going to get a whole lot out of it. And maybe they have an education project. Maybe the aliens, you know, got some money to educate the other intelligent species of the galaxy, so they send us picture books or their rock and roll or something that we could understand. It's possible.
Let's hope there's some alien rock and roll coming to our airwaves soon.